The 16th century was an era of titans. Henry VIII ruled in England, and Emperor Charles V dominated Europe. But above them all loomed the shadow of one man, the most powerful ruler of his time, Suleiman the Magnificent. To the whole world, he was the absolute master of 3 continents, whose wrath terrified even the Pope. He had an invincible army and limitless wealth. But behind the golden doors of his palace hid a dark tragedy. This is the story of a man who conquered the world, but paid for this absolute power with paranoia and the blood of his own sons. Sultan Suleiman ruled the Ottoman Empire from 1520 to 1566. During his reign, the empire reached its absolute peak, undeniably becoming the most powerful state on the planet. When Suleiman took the throne in 1520, European monarchs and the Pope breathed a sigh of relief. In their eyes, he looked like an inexperienced youth who would inevitably destroy the formidable empire built by his harsh father. A mocking phrase from a Venetian ambassador even circulated in European courts. A gentle lamb has replaced a fierce lion. But they were terribly wrong. During his reign, Suleiman conquered about 8.4 million square kilometers of territory, forever writing his name in the list of the greatest conquerors of all time. Suleiman launched his first strikes against Europe. He captured the impregnable island of Rhodes, then Belgrade fell, and in the famous Battle of Mohacs, the Sultan completely destroyed the enemy army in just 2 hours, bringing down the independent kingdom of Hungary with it. But along with triumphs came setbacks. In 1529, the Ottoman army reached the very gates of Vienna. Only a harsh winter, heavy rains, and a lack of supplies forced Suleiman to lift the siege. Realizing that Europe was uniting against him, the Sultan proved to be a cunning strategist. In the 16th century, the ideas of Protestantism were rapidly spreading across the continent. Suleiman secretly financed this religious split to weaken Catholic rulers and continue his conquests without hindrance. His ambitions were not limited to Europe. Ottoman banners rose over Asia and Africa. His fleet took control of vast territories up to Algeria and captured Tunis. In the east, his main enemy became powerful Persia, against which the Sultan led many exhausting military campaigns. However, Suleiman went down in history not only as a ruthless commander, but also as a wise reformer. The people called him Kanuni, the Lawgiver. Breaking centuries-old traditions, he began reforms with his closest circle. He made his slave and best friend, Ibrahim, the Grand Vizier, the second most important person in the state. The court was even more shocked by his attitude towards women. Suleiman officially secured the highest title of Valide Sultan for his mother. But his most unprecedented decision concerned his favorite concubine, Hurrem. For her sake, the Sultan broke age-old rules. He granted her the specially created title of Haseki Sultan and entered into a legal marriage with her. Nothing in this world can satisfy the human ego like power. The life of Sultan Suleiman is a dark lesson about how the love for power corrupts the heart. Because along with power comes the paralyzing fear of losing it, a fear that makes us desperate and cruel. To keep the crown, Suleiman made decisions that made the whole world shudder. First, he ordered the death of his best friend Ibrahim, and years later, he executed his own firstborn, Shehzade Mustafa, in cold blood. Historians note that both Ibrahim and Mustafa became too ambitious, and the Sultan saw their arrogance as a direct threat to his throne. However, many believe that Hurrem had a hand in these executions. In the brutal palace struggle, she eliminated Ibrahim to strengthen her influence and convinced the Sultan of Mustafa's betrayal to clear the path to the throne for her own children. The blood continued to flow. A few years after his wife's death, Suleiman would order the execution of another of his sons, Shehzade Bayezid, born to Hurrem herself, accusing him of rebellion. Throughout his long life, Suleiman unconditionally trusted only 2 people, his wife Hurrem and their daughter Mikrimah. Was this trust because he did not see women as a political threat, or did he simply bow before their outstanding intellect? We may never know. But one thing is certain. By giving them such unprecedented power, Suleiman unknowingly started a new era in Ottoman history, the famous Sultanate of Women. Sultan Suleiman died on September 6, 1566, during his final military campaign. He left behind the greatest empire in the world, the throne of which would be taken by his and Hurrem's son, Selim II. Subscribe for more history, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Who should we make our next video about? Tell us in the comments below.